Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for watching today. Today is Friday, May 22nd, and today we're going to be talking about habit number 3 of the 7 habits of very effective people. So this book is a great book, and this is another great habit that I'd like to go over. So I'm going to give a little disclosure because why this is one of my favorite habits, and my close family and friends know I get on this topic a lot. I mean, I'm not mentioning the book, but I get on this topic a lot. So I'm putting a disclosure in here. I'm going to be talking about things, my views, but I'm going on both sides. I'm going to be saying things on how to spend your time here, and people choose that, and people choose their time here, because when I go over this kind of discussion of what putting first things first, sometimes I get in these discussions and I feel that people think that I believe 100% this way if I defend one side, not really defend, but explain how people think this way or people think that way. So I'm going to be explaining a few things, but I just want, again, that disclosure that it's not a 100% how I believe. It's just explaining how there's different people view what to put first things first. So that'll make sense as I go on here. But first, I want to go over my quote of the day. Kind of goes back from yesterday. 10 years from now, make sure you can say that you chose your life. You did not settle for it. So that goes back yesterday, kind of prioritizing things and putting your plan in place. But today, habit number 3 is putting first things first. So in our business lives, in our personal lives, every day we have to put things first. We have to put, like, what I need to accomplish for the day. Some things in our schedule are so set in stone. We have to go to work. We have to get the kids to school. We got to eat breakfast, eat lunch, eat dinner. There's certain things that we do that just happen. But if you want to live the life you want to live, you want to make sure you prioritize and put first things first. And what we usually do is react. Most of our day is reacting. Most of our day is not proactive. Most of our day is reacting. We go to work and we react to things that come into us. With being a spouse, being a dad, a mom. We're reacting to the kids or our spouse and what they need. I think a lot of us always feel like we're giving because everybody's asking us for things. And guess what? We're asking people to do things for us every day. So what we have to do is really put first things first and what's more important. We get what's urgent mixed up with what's important. So in the book, it kind of goes over sometimes what's urgent, the things we have to do, like going to work and things that come up the day, getting the kids here, getting the work related things completed by the end of the day, and we don't get what's important. So where I explain is that you really, and the book does a good job explaining that, is that it would be great to make a list of and be organized of what is important to you, what putting first things first. Your first reaction sometimes is, I want to spend more time with my family. I want to spend more time doing this, doing that, putting first things first of what's most important to you. Now, this is kind of where my disclaimer goes into play here, is that some people feel that spending more time with family and friends and your children, spending more time, that's the key, is priority. That's putting first things first. But a lot of people don't see it that way. They think that way, but they don't. Some people think quality. I'm more about the quality type person. I'm not thinking about amount of time I spend with people. I want to make sure it's quality time with people. Example, again, back to my disclaimer, I always love to see different families and how they interact with each other, spending time with each other, and the love and the connection they have. I grew up in a certain way. I have a certain way of, my family communicates and runs, and every child is different. Every family member is different. How much time we spend with them, how much we talk to them, and how our connection is. And it's usually a result of time for some reason in my world. It's just, I spent this much time with this person, so I should have a better connection with that person or that child or that family member or that friend because I spent more time with them. And then I see, like, what I love to see, example, the general thing is like when you see someone that succeeds in sports or business or something, they won an award. And the one thing that always stuck with me for years is like when I just see like a sports, it's a professional player win, the Super Bowl, NBA championship, something, and they talk about their mom or their dad, and they talk about how they're like, my mom, I'm just using an example. Single mom had to work 3-4 jobs to support our family, and they had such a connected family, and it always was very intriguing to me. I'm like, that's a family that, like, say there's a mom, a dad that has to work 3-4 jobs to support their family, to get their kids to where they wanted to be, so they had say a better life or had more opportunity. But the time, how much time did they get to spend with their kids when they were working 3 or 4 jobs? And they had to sleep. They didn't have to other people, they didn't have the amount of time open to spend. So there's people over here on one side that the parents are working 3 or 4 jobs, 7 days a week, always somewhere working to help support. How much time? I always felt that that's quality. They're talking about quality. The love for each other was the quality of time, not the amount of time. And then there's families on this side where they have a 9-to-5 job or more open work from home relationship or situation, or they're running their kids around from 2:00 p.m. or 3:00 p.m. till 9:00 at night, doing kids sports 7 days a week, and they're spending 10 times more time with their kids and family on this side, and over here they're working 3 days a week. Is there a difference in connection? Is there a difference in relationship? Is there a difference in love? And that's where putting first things first. So again, what I'm explaining is that my view is that putting first things first is not about amount of time, unless that's what you want to put first. You go, I want to spend 12 hours a week with my children doing this, or my spouse, or I want to play golf, or I want to really work on this project, home project. Putting first things first could be the amount of time, but it also could be quality of time. So I just wanted to make that clear, that putting first things first and not getting bogged down and making sure that your important things in life don't get put to the back burner. And that does not have to mean time, all about time that you got to put. It's up to you. Me, it's all about quality. I want to make sure it's like, and to some of my family and friends, and I apologize to them. They're like, well, I'll see you in a couple of weeks. We'll sit down, we'll have dinner, and we'll have a good 3 or 4 or 5 hours, great conversation and everything. But I might not talk to you again for another 2 weeks. And then, and there's some people like, oh my God, you go 2 weeks without talking to a family member or friend. Like, yeah, that's me. I'm about quality, not about quantity. And I put first things first, but my first things first are not as much time. So the great thing about this chapter is explaining is that don't forget about what's important to you. Write down the time and how much allotted time you want to put into that. What are you going to feel fulfilled with what's important? Not the time, not the amount, but the quality is there. There's so many different things, but also you got to take in consideration when those important things are, if they involve other people. Again, it's a lot of planning. So you have to spend the time. It would be great that every time it was easy for us, like the important things, I want to do this or I want to do that. And it's like that. I could spend that time with that person, or I could play golf. I want to relax a certain number of days a month or a year. I want to take a vacation, or what happens if, example, how many families and friends or people out there over the last couple weeks, months, this was their vacation time. This was supposed to be the relaxing time. They had vacations planned and things to do, and everything happened with the coronavirus, and now do we reschedule that? Do we put first things first? Are we able to reschedule those times and that time? I know a lot of us, and I feel this way, and I'm sorry if this comes off wrong, but there's some things I did enjoy about being home and having that quality time with a family. We were stuck at home. We had to see each other. We haven't spent this much time. Gosh, I don't know how many times of sitting down eating dinner this often with family in 20 years. So there is always a silver lining on things. And to my family and close friends that are watching this, I know they're probably sick of me saying that, because I'm a silver lining type person. And every time they're talking down about what's going on in the world and stuff, I'm always like, well, here's the silver lining of that. Yes, to me, there's always a silver lining. There's always a positive to something. It might be small, but there's always something there that's positive that you could take out of a situation. So today, if you get a chance and you're reading this book, or if you have read this book, maybe kind of rethink some of the things. Maybe I'm sparking some interest of how to visualize and understand that putting a first things first is not always just putting time and the amount of time in front of something else. Could be quality. It's a lot of planning, making sure everybody in your life, is planned. Like I'm a planner. I've already planned. Hopefully, it happens. Certain vacation time and with certain family members, certain friends. Okay, this is your time. This is your time. This is your time. Sometimes it sounds like, to them and to people I know, and I apologize when I start this, that sometimes it sounds kind of not sincere when I plan. I'm like, your time allotment is this week. And your time allotment is this week. And somebody like, what? Can't we just be sporadic whenever? I'm like, no, I want to spend time and put first things first. I want to spend quality time with these family and friends. And then next week or this week, this is your time. I want to spend quality time with you. I'm not the big group. Let's bring 40 people together, because then me personally, I feel that then all of a sudden I get watered down. I get to spend 2 minutes with 40 people, and I'd rather spend a day or two with each individual people. So that's kind of how my mind works with putting first things first, organizing and spending time. Don't spend all your time reacting and going to the urgent things that happen in life. We do that a lot, especially if you have a few if you have a few children or family members that need your time all the time. Guess who spends the most time with you? The one that calls you the most, the one that asks for the most, the one that needs the most, that always has urgent things. But those urgent things are not always important. They're urgent to them, important to them, and we always love to help out our family and friends as much as we can every day. But it always seems like the people that we spend the most time with or help the most are the ones asking for it. Again, all those little things add up to a lot of your time. And sometimes, again, anybody watching this that has more than a few children, there's always that one that doesn't ask of much. And we always feel at the end of the day or at the end of the month or whenever, like, wow, we didn't really spend as much time talking or being with that child than we did the other children, because they're asking for more things, or they're in more activities, or they're in more things. So part of that, sorry, I'm getting off on a tangent, is putting first things first, prioritizing, scheduling, making sure you are putting your play at the end of a month or a year. You go, wow, I'm happy with what I created with my schedule. I did put first things first. I did spend enough time with my work. I did spend enough time with this family member, this friend. I mean, it's never going to be 100%, but you want to feel confident that at the end of a week, month, year, that you're like, wow, I really took control of my life. I took control. I put first things first. I didn't react and just whatever scheduled whenever things came to me. I actually made an effort to schedule it and plan and put first things first. And I really did do the important things, or majority of the important things I wanted to accomplish in my personal life and business life and with relationships and everything. So hope that gives you a little things to think about today. Tomorrow, great topic. Think win-win. So tomorrow, that's the topic, habit number 4. So that's it for today. Happy Friday to everybody. Hope you have a great weekend, and catch me on Monday. Have a good one. Bye-bye.